It's Wednesday the 11th of March and we've got a slightly unusual day today in that we're going to sit from 2 till 6 and then again from 7:30 till 10. But tomorrow morning the House will start sitting again at 9 o'clock and sit through until 1 o'clock in what's known as an extended sitting. But we start in the normal way with question time. Deborah Russell to the Minister of Finance about the economy, Simon Bridges to the Prime Minister about whether she stands by her government statements and actions, Paul Goldsmith a similar question to the Minister of Finance, Janet Tinetti to the Minister of Education about COVID-19 and its effect on schools, Michael Woodhouse again on COVID-19 to the Minister of Health, Priyanka Radhakrishnan to the Minister of Social Development about COVID-19 and the actions of the Ministry for Social Development. Todd McClay to the Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety on the effect of the wage increases, the minimum wage increases during the 1st of April. Judy Marcroft to the Minister for Seniors, and that one's about the gold card usage in the regions. Chris Bishop to the Minister for Regional Economic Development about the launches for Provincial Growth Fund projects. Tamati Coffey to the Minister of Health about tracing the close contacts of people who have COVID-19. Louise Upston to the Minister of Social Development about coronavirus and preparing the welfare system for that. Nikki Kay to the Minister of Education, whether he stands by all his statements and actions, and Nicola Willis to the Minister for Social Development about childcare assistance subsidies. Now, people who can count will work out that there are 13 questions today. One of them, question 13, is one which has come from yesterday, but because of new information it was deferred. After question time is a 2-hour debate on the budget policy statement, which sets out the priorities for the 2020 budget. Now, this was tabled some time ago, and it is likely that the Minister of Finance will give a bit of an update on resulting from what's occurred since that was tabled. We'll then go to the Election Access Fund Bill, the third reading of the no close swore brackets. It is to give funding for disabled candidates to cover disability-related costs, and it'll be administered by the Electoral Commission. We'll then go on to a local bill, the Auckland Regional Amenities Funding Amendment Bill, the second reading, and then back to Members Bill, the Broadcasting New Zealand on Air and Te Mangai Pāhua Reporting Requirements Amendment Bill. It's partway through its first reading, and it's in the name of Melissa Lee. And if we have any time, we'll go to the High-Powered Laser Pointer Offences and Penalties Bill in the name of Hamish Walker. Then we'll come back again at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for the extended sitting, the Taxation, KiwiSaver Student Loans and Remedial Matters Bill, the committee stages in the name of Stuart Nash, the smoke-free environments. This is the one about stopping people smoking in motor vehicles with kids, committee stages Jenny Salisa, and then the interrupted first reading of the Vaping Amendment Bill, again in the name of Jenny Salisa. That'll probably take us through till about lunchtime tomorrow, and MPs will get an hour off and be back again at 2 o'clock tomorrow.